Hey there, Eric O'Sullivan, Reverend Sully, ordained on the internet. The caveat, as always, please do not burn your hands holding on to my hot takes. If you do, well, that's on you, pal. I just have something to say about the Comic Book Workers United issue. No pun. I'm a lifelong comic book fan, currently lapsed because of its horrendous direction and also the smugness of the creatives that do not listen to um, the customers. I mean, I'm a professional chef. I rely upon criticism and customer satisfaction in my job. I'm also, one hand, a production worker, but the other hand, also I'm a creative. I'm an artist. I am. We're not given recipes. We're hired with our skill set, and we have this coterie of skills to make delicious, nutritious, and beautiful food. And we don't just serve up cafeteria slop. But also, I am a union member, about going on 14 years now, union strong. I am allowed a certain part. I've earned my seniority. I earn a great standard of living with a very good wage. I have the best that a blue collar could ask for in terms of affordable health insurance and affordable dental insurance. I have sick days. I have personal days. I can accrue up to 4 weeks of vacation now, being over a decade, and I can accrue another week for every 5 years I'm there. It's paid vacation that I accrue, and these are great benefits to have. This news hit about a couple of weeks ago, and it's about Image Comics. Image Comics is like number 3 in the pecking scale of the big two: DC Comics, Marvel Comics. Image Comics was created by creators who wanted to own their own intellectual properties and in perpetuity and benefit from their own ideas, basically. So, and Image has a great publishing schema as well, that basically the person with the idea is paying for everything and is given the opportunity for Image to use its publication and its distribution in order to get the traction to sell these magazines and to sell these stories. And Image has a great business model. It's pretty dynamic, and it's pretty new to the publishing industry. Well, about 30 years now. So, in this age of the social awareness and social concerns, and I'm all for people wanting to unionize. One of the biggest things in comic books that I hear from the creatives. Now, the creatives, you have editorial, who are hired by and employees of the company, be it DC, Marvel, Image, Dark Horse, Boom, Dynamite, any of the names. Editorial are employees. When it comes to the writers, the artists, the inkers and letterers, the creatives behind the art in the story itself, these people are freelancers and they're contract employees. They don't fall under the auspices of being an employee. They have their own negotiated structures. They have their own negotiated salary. And they're temporary too. They can either be asked back or not asked back for another new contract. While on the other hand, and then you also have working for the publishing houses, working at DC, working at Marvel, working at Image, as we're going to talk about right now, are the office people, the people that keep the machinery going, the people who answer the phones, people who schedule meetings, people who are there in person to run the business. And these are, everyone's important at work. If even the janitor, especially the janitor. I mean, you take for granted your clean bathroom at work, I bet. I mean, being at home, with your home, with this COVID lockdown stuff for the past almost 2 years. I mean, seriously, do you know that your janitorial people come in every night and clean that bathroom? That you have a clean bathroom every day that you go to work? Bet you don't think of that. And but with Image Comics has 12 office staff members, and 10 of them want to unionize, and which is really great in theory, and because I'm a union member, and I know that with our union, our huge union, that we have the leveraging and negotiating power to get our needs, not our demands, our needs met. We can leverage our management company sanely, safely, and cooperatively to get things such as personal days, sick days, vacation time, maternity and paternity leave. One of my best work friends, his wife just had a baby. He's not coming back for 3 months. Good for him. He's bonding with his new baby. He's helping his wife. These are the things that unions provide. Workers. Okay. So 10 of these 12 office employees have a list of demands. They went on Twitter to social media to blindside the Image Comics management with this declaration of, hey, we're going to try to unionize, and we want to be recognized by Image. They did this to try to leverage. It didn't work. Image ignored them, thankfully. But they had a 9-point overview of what they wanted to achieve. Workload transparency, job titles, that's good. Staff morale through assessment performances, sure. Transparent company culture, more meetings, yeah, wow. Increased knowledge through retention and implementation of record keeping. It's kind of pedantic, that's basic. Improve career mobility through staff and stricter adherence to company stated intent to offer up positions. I mean, sure. I mean, the continuation of remote work for any employee who requests it. I mean, that's pretty COVID. I mean, people should be working at work. And this point 6 is talking about reimbursement for costs, such as internet power and furnishing and other office supplies. That's really unreasonable. You should be going to work. You should be going to the office. I mean, number 7, better overall product through the immediate addition of staff. They're talking about product, but they're, particularly production and marketing departments. Yeah, okay. Number 8 is a long-term actionable plan to address the overall lack of diversity in both general staff and management. The authors, artists, and readers who bring comics to life have never been more homogeneous, and the stories we publish can only be improved by staffing our organization in ways that more accurately reflect the demographics of our creators' readership and a nation as a whole. Great. I mean, I'd be into that if you're willing to use the census as a standard. And number 9 is the most alarming. And in a way, I'm thinking some of these things, as usual as all demands, you have to add things to it that are going to be pish-poshed and put off the table. That you literally need to put out a couple of things are going to be declined in order to get the things that you want. This is basic negotiating. Okay, number 9 says a renewed commitment to company values through the addition of a collective voting option on the behalf of the staff, the office staff. A collective voting option to immediately cancel publication of any title whose creators have been found to have engaged in abuse, sexual assault, racism, xenophobia, homophobia, transphobia, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, ableism, etc., until such time as said creators have engaged in a meaningful reparations toward affected person or persons. Okay, that is I think they're serious about that because they're young people, and we are in the age of social justice. Yet these come down to struggle sessions. This is and kind of like this perpetual cycle of just ratting people out for things and perceived slights. I mean, when it comes down to anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, I'm not getting into this. I learned this the hard way, being part of the NPR message boards in 2000, 2001, 2002, that if anytime you enter a conversation about Israel or Palestine, if you don't, it's better to stay out of it if you don't have a vested interest, because anybody anti-Palestine is being Islamophobe, or anyone being anti-Israel is being anti-Semitic, and stay out of it if you don't have. But that's the slippery slope. That's a logical fallacy of when you introduce these concepts. What about straight phobia? What about anti-Christian people? I mean, we seem to have fair targets, and no, we don't. There's no such thing as a fair target. You need to, or is that covered under etc.? So, I mean, these people want to be taken seriously, and I just don't see that happening. They said on November 5th, as of November 5th, Image has failed to formally acknowledge our request for voluntary recognition. We're interpreting that lack of formal response coupled with a Twitter post that the company made, indicating their intention to force us into a totally unnecessary election as a denial of our request. Okay, it's going to be hard to get leveraging power with only 10 people. If you there is a bigger union out there that is literally trying to help them out, and the Communication Workers of America. That's good, because that's a huge union. But speaking as a union member myself, I have no place or role to be talking about the product. All of our concerns are about each other, and we don't have any of this labelist language. We are, I guess, the only thing that we do is call each other brother and sisters in this really socialist kind of way, and but everything is about protecting each other. That we don't use gendered language. We don't use ageist language. We don't use anything like this. What we do is we treat everyone equal, and these are just non-starters. I mean, how are you supposed to be taken seriously? I mean, we don't, as a collective bargaining unit, we can't tell the management company or the client what to produce. Now, we can talk about our workplace conditions, our safety, and our benefits, but to have a star chamber of a voting procedure to talk about product, that doesn't work. That's not how working works. That's not our role. I mean, these people have forgotten their role at work. I mean, it's all about this constant leverage for our social justice things. But what does that have to do with doing paperwork or making sure that something's clean, or making sure that you have a sick. I mean, unions are about protecting the workers and making sure that we have the best possible workplaces and the best possible benefits to working in such places. And this is just more modern leveraging for more of this just, I'm sorry, but boring social stuff. I mean, these are trends. I mean, I'm all for equality and proper, proper equity too. I mean, proper, just saying DIE on everything doesn't solve problems. And I don't know. There's something inherently thinky about this. It's not passing through my bullshit meter. I mean, they're not. None of this 9 points in their opening statements are talking about sick days, personal days, paternity, maternity leave, eyewear funds. I mean, that's huge. I mean, eyewear is expensive. That's a big thing. Where you need to set up a fund for eyewear. I mean, what about, there's no mention of healthcare. I mean, there's just one of these things we see online these days is creators who are freelancers. They're going to GoFundMe and to get better healthcare, to afford healthcare. I mean, they have these great jobs of being these dream jobs of writing our comic books and our favorite characters. But what they don't have is a living wage, and what they don't have is our proper health and dental care for themselves and their families, that they have to go and basically try to pass the hat. I mean, that's awful. I mean, comic creators need a union themselves. They need to have some kind of collective bargaining and leveraging to get these a better living wage with graduated. We get raises twice a year because we negotiated that. I mean, we get a good wage because we negotiated that. All of this language is just more the same. This is about trying to control the product and trying to control the creators and trying to control management. I mean, that's not what the union is about. A union's about protecting the workers. So and that our role, we are role players. We're a part of the process. Even management has its role, and the client has their role too. I mean, this is how it works. And this, with the comic book workers united here, this is how it doesn't work. I mean, they have the wrong idea. I would love someone to give them the right idea and give them the rights that they're looking for and give them the benefits that they need. And not just for the office workers, but for the creatives as well. I mean, I think everyone should be in a union. If you believe that or not, that's on you. I'm speaking as a 14-year union, blue-collar veteran. Not a veteran, a war veteran or a soldier. No, I'm a union person. Who's worked 14 years. And I've come around to seeing like how good we have it and what we've earned with this bargaining power. Well, and if you're anti-union, that's just you. Those are your beliefs, and that's cool. I mean, but am I pro-union? Heck yeah. I'm a blue-collar high school graduate. I'm a tradesman. I'm a tradesman. I ply a trade. What I do is dangerous. I feel very blessed. I'm very grateful to be part of this union. And it's in our contract. We negotiate these things. I just got myself a Christmas bonus because I didn't take any sick days this year, and I can cash them out if I follow the proper paperwork. If I took any sick time, I wouldn't be able to do this. But guess what? I got, that's a bonus. This is how unions work. And this is a great example of how they're not supposed to work. And I wish them luck, and I wish them success. And I hope they do find union, but to come down to earth and to, this is about protecting each other as workers. It's not about leveraging creators and about struggle sessions either. I mean, that's ridiculous. You know what? Give me a thumbs up if you like this kind of content. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. Give me a subscribe if you can. I make positive things about pop culture. I also go on occasional rants here and there that's just being balanced. I'm an amateur theologian. I make spiritual content. I'm also a professional chef. I make delicious, nutritious, and beautiful food. And I got cooking hacks for you to impress your friends and family with. And that's all I got to say about the Comic Book Workers United Union. Get a grip, get some reality, and protect each other. This is just, yeah, it does not pass through my bullshit meter. Cheers.